Hello you buggers, just want to say hello to all the new subscribers of this channel. I know you've enjoyed the last couple of videos and hence you subscribed to the channel based on those. I'm afraid it's not all super graphics and super videos and super comedy. Sometimes it's just dull, boring guitar building, and that's what the next few videos are going to be. And but you never know, we'll see how things pan out after those. Oh, hello you buggers. Back to the Kitchen Strat. Now, the Kitchen Strat has been going through a process of getting the 2K finish on it, 2-part polyurethane. And it's currently drying at the minute, and so I've got to leave that, put that to one side. I'm not going to show it to you. I don't want to damage the finish. And yes, it's looking really nice, but I have to admit the 2K finish took a bit of trial and error to get right. But once it does go on, and it goes on right, it goes on really glossy and really smooth. It's a fantastic finish, and yeah, there's no orange peel in the surface, not like you normally get. So I'm just leaving that for the minute, and oh well, I'll probably put all this together at a later stage when I can show you a bit more of that. And so, remember I was going to talk about doing some work on the neck. Well, here's the neck. All the frets have all been polished up and everything. They're all nice and smooth. I just want to protect that, so I've got a bit of cloth wrapped around that, taped up, so that doesn't get damaged. But what I'm going to do is drill out these holes. The reason for that is hold on a sec. This neck was fitted with these kind of tuners, the semi-closed. They're not the nicest of tuners, I don't think. I don't think many people do, actually. They are the sort of things that appear on the cheaper Strats, cheaper guitars all around, really. I'm going to replace them. I have a set of closed tuners, like this. Now that means I need to drill the hole bigger in the neck, because it's a smaller, well, it's a larger diameter. Now there's a few tricky issues with that I've put this veneer on the front, so, and ideally I want to drill down this way rather than that way. I don't want to drill a larger hole here, ending up blowing out the veneer. So I need to go back in this direction. So let's move the camera down. What I've got here is just a bit of wood to rest the neck on, and I've made up a little centering plug. It's just a bit of plastic with a 3mm diameter hole in the center, and I've just wrapped it with a bit of electrical tape until it just slots in, drops in. That will give me a center point that I can now drill through, hopefully. And then once I've got that drilled, I've got these kind of like step drill bits which will help widen out the hole. So I can come, turn it over, come back the other way, get that hole cut centered where it should be, and then basically drill through and make those holes bigger. So this goes up from 8mm to 10mm. So 10mm is what we want. I shall probably check that with my calipers first before I go too far. Now you have to be very careful about drilling or expanding these holes, because it's quite easy to just take a nice big fat drill and try to drill the hole bigger. What happens, or what can happen if you're not careful, is that drill bit will snag and pull and go and just force its way down there, and unfortunately, because of the extra size of drill bit, it basically just splits the wood and breaks that out. So all round this is a fairly scary process, so you just got to be uber careful. Wish me luck. Right, so there we go. 6 holes, relatively central to where they need to be. Next step is to make them bigger. What size does this go up to? I'm going to go up to an 8, which is that one. So that's looking good. Time to move on. Take it down to a 10. Before I do that, let's get my calipers. Try and do this upside down so you can see. Alright. 9.81. 9.81. Of course, I don't have a 9.81 drill bit. 9.81 is probably some kind of imperial equivalent, but I know from the past that 10mm is just fine. So on I go. So I'm just widening out the hole. I'm not pushing the bit all the way through because I don't want to end up hitting the 12mm and damaging the surface. And then I'll come back to the other side. So that's all good, but what I'm going to do is finish off the rest because there's there's a little bit in the middle. I've gone down some way, and there's still a little bit in the middle. I'm going to do that with a drill bit. This is a 9mm drill bit. It's biting. I don't like that. I mean, ideally I'd have a longer one of these. Just taking it slowly. I'm actually pulling the drill bit back as opposed to letting the weight of the drill go all the way down because that could. So I don't want it to bite. Like that. I mean, thankfully I've taken enough material away that if this does bite wedging, it's not likely to split the wood, but I don't want it to happen. just gently does it. He says back to the camera. Phew. Alright. Just put one of these in. That should be just a little bit tight in there, yeah? That's right. So up we go to the 10mm. Now ideally I'll be using a drill press so I'll have a bit more control over the actual drill. Because this does have a tendency to run away from you. And there we go. And that's what we're looking at. There's a tiny bit of chip out there. Tiny bit. Tiny bit, that's okay. It's going to be covered by the washer, but not exactly a great thing to happen. Now, as you can see, when you put these on, the hole there. Sorry, I'm missing the camera. Let me take the mic on. Yeah, it's close, but it's not quite the right place. So if you did just screw that in, it's likely to pull the tuners around like that, and we don't like that because that doesn't look very smart, does it? I was going to do this anyway, but it does show you kind of like what we need to do. We need to fill these holes. I'm going to fill all the holes so then I can place these tuners on, get them all lined up and re-drill those holes. I don't want that hole to interfere with the fitting. Alright, so let's get these off. So these measured at 9.8. This is a 10mm hole. It's snug as a bug. It's just right. I'm trying to pull it out. I haven't unbolted it. Right ho, let's get these filled. Now, what I'm going to use to fill those is I've got some toothpicks here, and they are just the right size to fill that in. And the other way to do this would be to have a little bit of maple, strips of maple, and pop them in, but I'm afraid this is going to have to be good enough. I'm sure it'll be fine. Right, super glue. Sorry if you lost a decent view of what I was doing. I have my GoPro set up with my iPhone, and for some unknown reason my preview stops working after a while. I can't see what the camera is showing, so a real pain in the bum. So sometimes I'm just guessing where the camera is. So once the glue is set and everything's all been trimmed off, this is just a rough trim. We're going to, I say we, there's no we, it's just me, isn't it? I'm going to sand back the back of the headstock to bare wood. We will lose the Squire serial. Yeah, but who cares about Squires, eh? You don't get people looking at the serial numbers on Squires to see what kind of pedigree it is, where it came from, who manufactured it. Whether it visited the custom shop. I wonder what the Fender custom shop would say if you bought a Squire and asked them to work their magic on it. Have a Squire with that lovely Fender custom shop logo on it. There now. Put that away till next time. What I want to do now is let that super glue dry off properly, and take one of my sharp chisels, which at the minute I'm looking at them and I think they're all blunt as buggery. Just cut that off. I mean, obviously I could do it with a nice new Stanley blade. That would probably do it. And then sand it down.